We are at CFB Dundurn, Saskatchewan. I'm being joined right now by Matt, who is a national rider with the military police's motorcycle relay ride. And he's also from Victoria, BC, same as Lamont French. So tell me a little bit about why you decided that this ride was something you wanted to do this year.
Well, at first, I got out of the military in March. I was medically released, and I was thinking, you know what I want to do is just go for a ride across Canada. It's Canada's 150th birthday, and I thought, what a perfect opportunity to ride across the country. And then I was getting on the ferry one day, and I was in the lineup of motorcycles next to Lamont. And I asked Lamont about the website on his bike, and he told me about the ride. And within 2 days, I was registered for the ride. Yeah.
You're watching Ride Like a Local with Belt Drive Betty. Voted as Canada's most rider-friendly community of the 2016 riding season is Port Alberni, British Columbia, home to one of the longest-running toy runs in Canada, the Port Alberni Toy Run. Bordered on the east by the Beaufort Mountains and on the west by the Pacific Ocean, the Vancouver Island Riders' Paradise, Port Alberni, is Canada's most rider-friendly community. Visit www.portalberni.ca to find out more. So, for a lot of the riders on this ride, this is kind of a bucket list type of trip. They want to ride across Canada. And, I mean, you could choose any way to ride across Canada. You didn't have to come with this ride. So is the purpose behind the ride also an important factor as to why you joined it?
At first, I just wanted to go for a ride, and I thought, you know what, since, the ride is sponsored and maybe it's safer to go in a group, especially since I've never ridden right across before, I thought, why not go with a group? But as the trip has gone on, the meaning behind it has really hit home with me. Right. Well, you know about the charity, you know about the Blind Fund for Children, and I was medically released from the military because of blindness, actually. I was blind, 100% blind. I was told at first that I'd never see again. And my vision came back, but it left me with a side effect that doesn't allow me to continue on in the military. And in addition to that, I also had a daughter with cancer. This is similar to the founder of the relay. His daughter had cancer. Now, my daughter didn't have ocular cancer. She had a different type of cancer, but it's really hit home with me, and the value of this charity has really hit home. So I'm really glad to now more than it was at the beginning.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when we riders find out that something we're involved in involves children, and we start hearing the stories from those children themselves. It kind of moves the soul.
Yeah, especially this one girl. There was one girl in BC, and she was just so happy that she had the opportunity to sew baby blankets for her care workers, and that just blew me away. That she's blind, she's the one with the disability, but yet she's the one that's giving back. She's the one that's, and she's happy to do it, and it gives her a purpose. So it was amazing to see all the kids, especially across BC, because we met several of them, and really cool to see that.
It is, and I think it's a very rewarding thing to know that the miles that you put on are not only filling your soul and heart with wonderful memories to take home with you, but to know that you're touching all of these other lives while you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, and I think about that sometimes when I'm on a road, and there are times when I'm thinking, you know what, I'd rather not be here right now when the long straight stretches across the prairies, and especially in a group formation. Uh, Riding solo I find a lot easier than riding in a group because you don't get to enjoy the scenery as much when you're in a group. You're paying more attention to your position in the group and the bike ahead of you and where you are in relation to that bike. And but then I remind myself of why I'm here and the greater cause of all of this, and that really keeps me going.
And on that note, we'll be back with another segment of Ride Like a Local. Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region can assist small business with financing, training, and advisory services. We're here to help small business in rural Alberta. Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, home to the Cabot Trail and the Cape Breton Bike Rally. With some of the most magnificent riding and the friendliest of people one can find anywhere, Cape Breton is the runner-up community in Canada's most rider-friendly community contest. Visit CapeBretonBikeRally.com to find out why. We're at CFB Dundurn, Saskatchewan, and I'm being joined by Dawn, one of the national riders from Victoria, who's heading to Gander, Newfoundland with the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride for blind children. Why are you on this ride?
Well, one of the guys that's in charge of this whole event, and he's been there for a lot of years, 9 years I believe, is Lamont, and he just lives up the road. So during our winter, our one of 10 years winter, I was shoveling snow, and Lamont said, "Hey, Don, you got a motorcycle. Why don't you just come along for this ride? What's it about?" And he told me about the kids' blindness and all that stuff, because I didn't know what it was all about. And as I thought about it, I said, "Sure, I'm in." So just let me know what the dates are and what we have to do.
So you're riding a Yamaha in amongst all these Honda Goldwings and Harley trikes and that sort of thing. How do you find the other riders treat you brand-wise? Is there a lot of that good-natured ribbing? Is it a lot of fun to be with this crew?
There's always fun. There's always good banter and stuff. But honestly, I think they're all jealous of me. I don't. I really don't. No, realistically, it doesn't matter. It's like everybody has their bikes. They're great with what they do, and it's just really good camaraderie and bantering. Of course, is always a good thing.
Well, and these guys, it seems to me like the gentlemen that are part of this, some of them are former military police, and their sense of humor gets a little on the dark side, wouldn't you say?
I would think so, because we were in Alberta gassing up. I think it was Hinton. A lady and her young daughter come up and said, "Oh, are you guys all military police?" And there's like 3 of us there. So 2 said, "Yes, military police, retired military police." I just said I was military client, which I'm not. But we got a good chuckle out of that. So.
And I think having a good sense of humor on a trip like this is really important because you're riding with a whole bunch of people you don't really know all that well. Yep. You're going to become like family by the time this trip is over. And in the meantime, you're probably going to have some days where you want to strangle somebody, other days where you just want to hug each other and you're grateful to be together. Tell me what it's like living in barracks with people that you don't necessarily know all that well. What's that adjustment like?
For us guys and gals that were military, I'm not sure on the police side. We have civilian police officers that are here as well. We're used to that. Whether you're in a where we are today, or you could be out in the woods somewhere in a tent and rain coming down, cats and dogs and all the fun stuff. We just ignore it. It's just like, somebody's having a good day, bad day, it doesn't matter, in the whole process, right? I guess for me, that's how it is. It is what it is, and we just, look for better stuff for the next day.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the critical thing with a long trip like this, because you guys are going to be on the road together as a family unit for about a month, and you're going to all of these different little legions and tiny little communities, and you're taking the long, sweet way to get to where you're going, raising money the entire way, and truly learning to become a team, a unit.
Oh, absolutely. And some of the stuff I've seen, whether it's on the roads and going through BC and the fires currently and the smog and all, or not the smog, but the smoke in the air, and it's just one thing. And what these people do in legions, it's just phenomenal. Like, they don't really ask for anything. Just a thank you, basically, is what it is. Yeah. And it's just, I can't speak loudly enough about legions. They've been awesome to us. Other organizations as well. You know, it's just a good thing. You know, and when I'm a father, so I have two boys that are a little bit older now. But when I found out about this and actually seen some of the young people that have actually gained benefit from it, you know, they have their eye issues, and whether it's, you know, whatever it is, you know, I won't go into detail on that, but it's just kind of tugged at my heart a bit there, and I was thinking, okay, I understand that. Very lucky with no eye issues with my kids, and or my young fellas, and I think it's a very well organized event to raise money for these people.
It is very well organized, literally with military precision, but I want to drive home the fact that this ride might be hosted by the military police, but it's open to anybody that wants to join them. So, next segment, we'll be back with more Ride Like a Local and the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride for Blind Children. The Spark Business Incubator is located in 214 Place and run by Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region. It can provide a new or expanding business with the supports to be successful. www.gpsparkincubator.ca. Voted as Canada's most rider-friendly community of the 2016 riding season is Port Alberni, British Columbia, home to one of the longest-running toy runs in Canada, the Port Alberni Toy Run. Bordered on the east by the Beaufort Mountains and on the west by the Pacific Ocean, the Vancouver Island Riders' Paradise, Port Alberni, is Canada's most rider-friendly community. Visit www.portalberni.ca to find out more. I'm being joined by Ray Lyver. He is one of the national riders. He comes from that Penticton, Kelowna country in British Columbia, and is heading right across the country with the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride for Blind Children. Ray, tell me why you decided to get involved with this ride.
I've been a military policeman, and I've always been involved with the Blind Fund. And I've always been a motorcycle rider, even before it was cool to be one. So, yeah, it was just something I always wanted to do on the bucket list. And so last year I said, that's it, it's time to go, and bought my new Goldwing, and away I went. So, and then this year my aunt and uncle wanted to do it, so going again.
Helping children. No more noble thing a person can do, really.
Yeah, it's part of the community, right? It takes a community, or it takes a village to raise a child. So it's a good fit. Like, we could do it just for the fun of it, but when you can add that benefit, it's bucket list stuff to do.
It truly is. And what is your favorite aspect of this ride?
I think it's meeting my friends that, because of the military, they're spread all over the country, and so you get to run into them, and you get to reminisce, and sometimes they pull out old pictures, and you rediscover yourself, and so yeah, it's a good thing.
It is a very good thing. One of the things that I've noticed is that you guys have been on the road just about a week now. And already you formed kind of like a brother sisterhood, almost like a family. Some really good banter and cajoling going on. What's with the nickname Ice Cream?
That just came up today because I had ice cream for breakfast, but I always like ice cream, and anybody who's ridden with us knows that. So I don't know if that's going to stick or not. Pardon the pun.
No, in Lamont, it's going to stick, and you'll end up with 5 or 6 extra names besides.
Maybe I'll just shorten it into Ice. Like the movie Top Gun, Ice.
Now, this ride isn't just for military police. We need to make sure that people understand that you guys are the host and that you want other riders to join you, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the military police do the administration and the arranging and all the work involved, basically. And then the more people that we have gathering funds, it's like that little drop that turns into a bunch of drops, which turn into a stream, and then you can have you can do wonderful things with it. So yeah.
And I know that a laptop for some of these children with the Braille on it and some of the different advancements, they can cost upwards of $7,500 just for one piece of equipment. So this ride is really, really important in raising funds to help these children gain some sort of educational advantage, emotional strength and courage. It really does help them in those regards.
Yeah, and it's not just. I mean, it started because of a military family's daughter that needed the help, and more her colleagues that needed the help than her. But it's open to anybody and so that's another thing to get the word out that it doesn't matter where you are. We support if you're 21 years or younger. We can help you out if you have, or you know somebody who's visually challenged, right? So we send them to. They also purchase equipment for the school for the blind, and yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to be able to do that. Nice to see the results, right?
Absolutely. And Lamont has a saying that there is no more noble thing that a person can do than to lift up a child.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't do what needs to be done by yourself. You have to be part of something bigger. So, yeah.
It's called teamwork.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Come join the team.
And on that note, the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride for Blind Children is looking for team riders for next year. So it would behoove you to check out the website, nationalmotorcyclerelay.ca, and join the military police in their efforts to raise money for blind children, Canadian children. Okay, not military children, not veterans children, but Canadian children, 21 years of age and younger. If they have a visual impairment, the military police are here to help them. So why not come and join the team for a year? Next year is their 10th anniversary, and they're doing great things. Come on out and join them. That's our time for this week, folks. Next time, join us as we're at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.